watching Sunday Sound Off with Frank Boal.
Welcome back to Sunday Sound Off. And our first hot topic of the night, what is your biggest area of concern moving into the playoffs? TJ.
Red zone offense. They have got to score touchdowns, not field goals in the playoffs to win, because that's what the teams who have experience winning in the playoffs in the AFC are going to do. The Pittsburgh Steelers, the New England Patriots are exceptional at that and getting into the end zone. They've got two great quarterbacks who can do it. Now, we saw a little bit of that today against the Chargers, that Alex Smith was able to make some things work in the red zone, but man, was it pulling teeth. I mean, I think it was 11 plays at one point that they used trying to get from the 20 into the end zone, and they eventually did, which is good. But man, it's tough to watch. I think what I need to see from Alex Smith moving forward in this postseason, if they're going to win, is that he orchestrate touchdown drives, not field goal drives.
Stan Weber.
I was going to say red zone offense.
You're allowed.
Literally, I was going to say that because you can't turn over the football. The Chiefs' running game's not strong enough near the goal line, and they need to score touchdowns. But I'll go to the next thing. The second concern I have, and really I only have two concerns, red zone offense and run defense. Derek Johnson is out. And I know the Chiefs will try to scheme, and Eric Berry can get up and help on the running game, and there's guys fighting. But the fact is, I don't think the Chiefs are a great run defense. And when it comes playoff time, there are going to be some teams that are going to attack that, which will set up the play-action passing as well.
Surin, red zone off. Okay.
Yeah, you know, what is this, a setup? You know, you put the other two guys in front of me. So number one is obviously red zone offense. That's where I'd go as well. TJ covered that very well. Number two is their rush defense. Dontari Post had an up and down season. Not going to the Pro Bowl is, an indication of that. And of course, all the injuries they've had to that middle linebacker spot. And watching, Ramik Wilson go down, I think you had a little bit of a fear there today. Those are 1 and 2. So I guess I get stuck at number 3. I would echo those. I'll give you another one. Look, and it's a little bit of the white elephant. It's Alex Smith. And Alex Smith is part of the reason why they struggle in the red zone. He has to play his best football. But here's an encouraging sign. He has played his best football in the playoffs. An incredible 11 touchdown to 1 INT, TD to INT ratio is incredible. It's outstanding. Now, he's only 2 and 3 as a quarterback in the postseason, but he has played at a high level. And if he can play at that high level, they'll be better in the red zone. They'll stay on the field. That helps that rush defense stay off the field and gives them a better chance to win. So I do think, look, you get to this time of the season, the quarterback is always a big part of the equation. He's got to play big.
Yeah, and the other thing, and the other place he'll play big, I think we've seen in the last 3 weeks, all of a sudden he's running the football again. And that has really sort of opened up this offense for doing some better things. Okay, here's our second hot topic of the evening. Who is the Chiefs' MVP? Stan.
Well, there could be 3, maybe 4 guys that I could see in the mix. I'm only going to say one of them, so the other guys can't say that I took everything off the board.
Well done, Stan.
Oh, they'll say it anyway, Stan.
I'm going to go with Eric Berry. Not only has he become the most improved player on the Kansas City Chiefs because he came out as a high draft choice out of Tennessee and he played well, but he didn't play as well as he did this year. He is a dominant safety. And we talk about him playing well in the box. That's where he made his money. But when he got into pass situations and had to cover guys, he got put into big problems. Not this year. He's playing deep free safety. He's intercepting passes. He's converting 2-point conversions the other way. All kinds of great plays, and that doesn't even count the emotional leadership. When the offense was down and the defense was playing better, the team didn't have any problems. And one of the reasons why is because they respect Eric Berry so much. He's played on the field like an all-pro, and he also has led the team mentally, obviously overcoming cancer. I'm going to go Eric Berry, even though there's some other guys who deserve consideration.
Surin, who's your MVP?
Well, after having everything taken from me in the last topic, I'm going to go ahead and ruin it for everybody. You could say Tyreek Hill. He's been outstanding, and that's a strong one. That'd probably be my second choice here. I think Chris Jones has made a huge impact. I think Schwartz at right tackle has been a giant impact for this team and really solidified things. And Eric Berry is certainly a worthy candidate as well. Travis Kelce deserves some consideration, but the guy I'll give it to is Marcus Peters. There was one game where this defense looked really different. And that was the game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs were able to go up and down the field and consistently move the chains with the passing attack. And that was the game that Marcus Peters didn't play. They've won without Justin Houston. They've won without Alex Smith. They've won when Tyreek Hill hasn't had big games. They won early in the season without Chris Jones. The one guy they haven't won without is Marcus Peters. And I think without him, this pass defense gets a lot more ordinary.
And, yeah, it's interesting because he picks up that interception first time since, Game 6 he's had an interception because why? Nobody's throwing the ball his way. That's why. That's how good he is. Okay, TJ, who you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Travis Kelce, and it sounds like he may have gotten into some trouble before the game, or maybe last night before they came to the stadium, and was sat down by the coach in that first drive. And so he wasn't productive today, but he didn't need to be productive. The Chargers aren't any good. But I would say moving forward, and from what we've seen production-wise from him, he is the way that offense is going to work. And if they want to keep the chains moving and they want big play potential, yes, Tyreek Hill is a home run hitter, but the guy who's going to get the targets and the ball is Travis Kelce, more so than any other weapon in that offense. And if they're going to score touchdowns like we know they have to advance in the playoffs, he's going to be key to doing that.
Yeah, they had just one catch for 8 yards saved. They really didn't need him that much. And our final hot topic, who would you like to see at Arrowhead in 2 weeks? Of course, you know, we'd probably like this, well, who's the worst team out there? We'll take them, of course. But who do you think we're going to see, Soren?
You know, I think you'd like to see the Oakland Raiders come in with that problem they've got at the quarterback spot. That one's realistic. I mean, the Dolphins can't come in because of the seeding system. If they win, they're going to go to New England. So, you know, the Raiders would be the worst team. In all likelihood, though, you're going to see the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'll spend my time talking about that because I think that's what's going to happen. And I don't think that's a bad thing for the Kansas City Chiefs. I know a lot of people will be scared of that matchup because of what the Steelers did to them on that Sunday night game in Pittsburgh. But I think that serves as a wonderful motivation for the Kansas City Chiefs and maybe some complacency in the Pittsburgh Steelers locker room. Yes, Pittsburgh is a tough out for anybody that you're going to have to play, but these are the playoffs. You're going to have tough outs along the way. And I think if the Chiefs are going to have a special season, a Super Bowl season, they're going to have to exercise some demons along the way. And I think beating Pittsburgh and then beating New England in New England is exactly the kind of thing you need to overcome to be a championship caliber team. The Cubs had to overcome being down 3-1 in the World Series to finally get that monkey off their back. The Red Sox a number of years ago had to be down 3-0 to the Yankees to get that monkey off their back. I think beating Pittsburgh at home, and it'd be a totally different game at home, and then going to New England is exactly the kind of road the Chiefs need to get this Super Bowl lack of Super Bowl off their back.
TJ, who's going to be at Arrowhead?
Yeah, it's going to be Pittsburgh, almost assuredly. If it is Oakland or Houston, you feel great about that game, and you're going on to New England. I don't think that it's going to be an easy out by any means with the home run hitters they've got in Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell, not to mention Ben Roethlisberger. But that's going to be tough. And I'll tell you what, if they can beat the Pittsburgh Steelers at home and then go on the road and beat the Patriots in New England, they will win the Super Bowl because those are the two most qualified teams in the playoffs right now, including Green Bay right now, that you need to be afraid of. And the Chiefs are most likely going to have to go through both of them, or I should say the Steelers coming to Arrowhead. They have to beat them and then go through New England to get to the Super Bowl. That's going to be a tall order, but if the Chiefs do it, they are more than deserving of going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Saying they're going to win the Super Bowl. TJ, you're new to Kansas City. When you
He watched the Royals win. He watched the Royals win. He doesn't remember.
There you are. That's okay. It's all he knows, okay? So I will be making a road trip back to Houston again then in your future. Stan, who do you think is going to be here?
It's a 2017 new turnover the leaf time. Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. Now, Soren said it very well. The Pittsburgh Steelers will probably be coming to Kansas City, and that will catch the eye of that football team, and they'll be able to get ready, and it'll be interesting to see. Now, Miami starts at Pittsburgh, and Miami whipped Pittsburgh earlier in the year, so it may be the same thing where the Steelers get after the Dolphins. It's likely. I would love to see Miami win because when Soren said that there's going to be a hard game in the playoffs, that's usually the norm. But let me tell you, if the Houston Texans or the Oakland Raiders come to Arrowhead for the first game after a week off, let's just turn the tape on and start studying New England because there is no two easier teams to beat right now for the Kansas City Chiefs. They would whip Oakland no matter what. They're overrated. Houston's awful in an awful division. The Chiefs would whip them in Houston. They'll whip them in Kansas City. I'd love to have an easy week at home before you head off to New England. But likely, it'll be the Steelers, and it'll be prove yourself. If you have to beat the Steelers at home, New England on the road, and then win the Super Bowl, you will have earned any accolades you could ever get because that would be a hard, hard run.
Did you just get to town, Stan? Is this your first time here? They're going to whip this team. They're going to whip that team. Have you not seen Chiefs playoff football?
I didn't say they're going to whip them. I said if they whip them. I don't want to play Pittsburgh. Anybody but Pittsburgh in the first round.
They're going to get Pittsburgh.
Just wait till it's the Dallas Cowboys and the Dallas Texans in the Super Bowl.
Dallas Cowboys and Kansas City Chiefs should have played the Super Bowl in 1971. And now they may do it this year.
Okay, so none of you are afraid about that cheerleading head coach that the Steelers have? The cheerleader that Terry Bradshaw calls Mike Tomlin?
I think
he's just a cheerleader. He can't coach.
Yeah, no, I think you certainly fear the Steelers, and that was a ridiculous statement by Terry Bradshaw. But then again, you're talking about a guy who's wearing NASCAR outfits today, hyping up whatever the hell's coming up. The Daytona 500, which is happening in 2 months.
That's right. All right, gentlemen. Up next, we're going to get some final thoughts from the panel. It's our time to sound off on anything that's on their minds. You're watching Sunday Sound Off.